Say hi.
Hi.
Hey guys, it's Savannah and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is some fun Farmhouse lemon Dollar Tree DIYs. I am in love with how all of these turned out, so let's go ahead and get started. All right, for our first lemon DIY, I am taking this color Pale Daffodil, I think, I'm not sure, and Apple Barrel, and then I'm taking one of these Dollar Tree crates. This is the one that doesn't have the holes in it. Obviously, I'm pretty sure you could see that, but I am starting out by pouring way too much paint on this. I don't think this would be one of my videos if I didn't excessively use paint. I don't know why. I have no self-control when it comes to painting. I am so messy. So I'm just going through and I'm covering this whole crate. I didn't worry about the inside, but I did want to cover the whole outside and in like where those little handles are. I wanted to make sure that was covered too. Now you could cover those handles, but in this particular DIY, it didn't bother me. But if it does bother you, you can always put some popsicle sticks or, you know, just add something to hide them. Then I printed this cute little saying off on my Cricut. It says, "Squeeze the day," and I just made this up myself. It wasn't in the design space, so I just picked a cute font that I liked, and I thought this was kind of playful, so I just laid that on there. And then obviously we're gonna make this look like a book stack. I've seen a ton of DIYers do this, and I really wanted to put my own spin on it. So then I'm taking some antique Waverly wax and my chip brush, and I'm just going through and distressing this whole crate, especially where the lines are, because I want it to be pretty prominent that I want it to look like a book stack, if that makes sense. Then I took a Dollar Tree barbecue skewer and I dipped it in the antique Waverly wax, and I'm kind of just dragging it in the little, you know, the line, and then taking my chip brush and kind of dry brushing over it just to make it more like defined and that it looks like these are three separate books. Then I took some ribbon that I got from Walmart and I kind of just knotted it at the top. And then I'm going to take some raffia and I kind of just, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it, just make a bow. And then I tied it with a jute, and then I'm going to hot glue this to the top of the bow. And I think this turns out so adorable. It's perfect for a tiered tray in summertime. I am just in love with this first DIY. For this next one, I am taking this wood round, and yes, it is from the Dollar Tree. One of my Dollar Trees have turned into a Dollar Tree Plus, and I thought this was so cool. Now, again, if you don't have a Plus yet, you could always use a pizza pan for this DIY, but I'm just starting by taking some white no girl, why do I always do that? I should have this word down pat because I use it in every video. Some white Waverly chalk paint. I almost did it again. And I'm just covering this whole wood round. I want it to be all covered in a pretty decent coat. Then we're going to take some painter's tape and we are going to start lining this and making lines. So I want this to be like black and white, black and white, black and white. So really, if it bothers you about, if you're really anal about bleeds and stuff, you know, you could use something a little bit better, but I wasn't really worried because I wanted this to look kind of rustic anyway, so I didn't mind. So I just used regular painter's tape and I'm just going through and lining this whole wood round. And I'm sorry about the lining during this part. My ring light is so sensitive, and if I like stand up or put a certain color in there, it changes. So just bear with me because I was trying to stand up and look to make sure the lines were straight. Then I'm taking some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I am just painting in where those, you know, obviously where the lines are. So I thought it would be easier to just paint the whole thing white and then go back in and do the lines instead of like doing line white and then going back in and having to do white. It was just, I don't know. It was just easier for me do whatever your little heart desires. I just found this to be the easiest way. And then once the paint is kind of semi-dry, you're gonna start removing the tape. Obviously, we're not gonna leave that there. And again, if bleeds bother you, I don't know, you could use like a stronger tape or something. But again, it didn't really bother me, and you couldn't honestly really tell. And I think this comes out so adorable. You guys, if they're putting a Dollar Tree Plus in your area, you have to go check it out. I was so excited when I saw these, and I knew exactly what I wanted to kind of make out of one. And then I have another idea for a couple, but we'll get there when we get there. Then while that is drying, we're gonna make a bow. Now I do end up going back and changing my mind with this bow, but I'm taking some of this like polka dot white ribbon. I took some of this yellow gingham ribbon, which this is what I end up changing my mind on. Some lace ribbon. This is from Hobby Lobby. The yellow is from Walmart, and so is the white polka dot one. And then some burlap ribbon, which is also from Walmart, and then some more burlap ribbon that is also from Walmart. I love Walmart's ribbon, and I think it's a pretty good price too. So I'm laying the bigger pieces straight across, and then the smaller pieces in X formation. Some of my subscribers have asked me if there's a video on how I do my bows, and sometimes I will leave them in the video just so if you're new here, you can kind of see how I do my bows. So I lay them like this, and then I take some jute and I just cinch the bow in the back. Then once this wood round was dry, we're gonna go through and just sand it down. And because I wanted this to look rustic, and the black and white was very, like, you could see it from a mile away. And even though I wanted that, I still wanted it toned down just a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just taking my finger sander and just sanding over the black. Then I got these little triangle hanger things from Walmart, and if you're gonna put this outside, I would definitely recommend putting the nails in it, but this is gonna hang inside my house, so I just hot glued it to the top of the wood round, and I have not had any trouble with it yet. So then I printed these out on my Cricut. This was in their design studio, which if you have a Cricut, I definitely recommend having their design studio. There's so much in there. So I'm kind of just playing around and see how I want these to lay. Now I printed all of these lemons out, but as you can see, they're not gonna fit on there. So I just decided to go with the 3 lemons in the middle. So I just cut those out, and I'll save the other lemons. You never know, I might use them. And then I'm just laying the vinyl in there, obviously. I don't know, you guys, I have the hardest time with transfer tape. I have a hard time picking it up off the paper, and then I have a hard time getting it off once I lay my project. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I have literally the hardest time with transfer tape. So then once I got all the lemons on there, I'm kind of just making sure that they're not peeling up because, again, I have so much trouble with this. Then we're gonna go in with our chip brush and some antique Waverly wax, and we're just gonna distress this whole thing. I even go over the yellow vinyl just because I want that to be a little bit worn down as well. Now you can see in this shot that yellow and in the bow, and then the yellow in, you know, the vinyl just really clashed. I don't know, I felt like it didn't go. So I ended up taking the yellow out and then adding some raffia into the bow just to make it a little bit more fuller. And I loved that. And so I decided to go with that. And I think this is so cute. I have like an old window in my house, and I think this would be really cute hanging on it. So let me know what you guys think, and if you have a Dollar Tree Plus near you. If you are new to my channel, I'm Savannah, and I love doing high-end Dollar Tree DIYs, or honestly anything DIY on a budget. So if that's something you're into, I hope that you stick around, hit that subscribe button. Also, liking, sharing, and commenting on all my videos really does help my channel out, and it means so much to me. You guys are amazing in every single way, and I cannot thank you guys enough. All right, let's get back into crafting. So this next DIY is pretty simple, but I think it turns out so cute. So I'm taking one of these Dollar Tree frames and I'm removing the back from it, and then I'm just giving the frame a good coat of the Ivory Waverly chalk paint. Again, you don't have to be perfect because we are going to distress this as well. Now, I've seen people remove this and be really good at it, and yeah, it just did not work out well for me. So I just butchered it and then I ended up throwing it away. But then I'm taking some of this buffalo check scrapbook paper from Hobby Lobby and I'm just tracing this on it, and then I'm going to cut it out. And then we are going to hot glue the scrapbook paper on top of the wood, obviously. And again, if you would rather use Mod Podge, go for it. I'm not going to tell you not to, but I just think it's so much simpler to just hot glue it and be done with it. So then I'm taking some antique Waverly wax and a chip brush, and I am just distressing this whole frame like I said we were, of course. And just getting it how I like it, and then I go back over and sand it down, and then some of that wood from the beginning kind of shows through, and I think it looks really cute. Then we're gonna put it back together. Now I wanted to put this in the frame before we did the next step, just so I could see how I wanted everything to lay. And then I printed this out also on my Cricut. It just says lemons, and then I also printed out 5 cents. Now, you guys, if you don't have a Cricut, it's okay. Like, I went forever without a Cricut. There are so many other options. You know, sometimes people are like, oh, I don't have a Cricut, so I can't do any of these. Yes, you can, girlfriend. Dollar Tree has so many cute rub-on transfers. They have letters. There's so much that you can do, and you don't have to have the Cricut. So then I'm just laying the 5 cents and removing that, and then I thought it needed just a little bit more. So this is how I kind of make my raffia bows. I just take it and just keep looping it around until I get as much as I want, and then I will take some jute and tie it off, and then I'm gonna hot glue this right beside the 5 cents. And then after I put that down, I wanted to add a little button because why not? And I think it just brought it all together, and I think this is so cute, so simple, and I love how this DIY turned out. So this last DIY is kind of a 2-for-1, but we're gonna go ahead and start with the first one. So you're gonna need 2 of these houses, and I started by removing the sand dollar and the top of the roof, and then there was like some excess paper at the bottom, so I kind of just ripped that off. But then I'm taking some Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, and I'm just painting the roof of this house. Now I'm gonna do this to both of them, but I don't know, I just felt like the black, it just stands out more, and I don't know. Personal preference. So yeah. Then I'm taking the house and I'm going to trace it on the back of this shiplap looking scrapbook paper. I also got this from Hobby Lobby, and usually all their scrapbook paper is like 50% off, I'm pretty sure. Well, at least it was when I was there. So anyways, I'm just tracing this out, and then I'm going to cut this out. Then we're going to hot glue this on the front of the house. Again, if you want a Mod Podge, go for it. Your girl here just, if I can get away without using Mod Podge, I'm gonna do it. So I'm just laying this on the front of the house, and then where there are like, it's kind of like hangover, or I didn't get, you know, like some pages down, I'll just add some hot glue, and then I'm gonna take my sander and sand the edges. Now, if you are using Mod Podge, again, wait till it is completely dry, because just trust me, it's gonna mess up. And just, I go at a downward motion to get those corners and make sure that it's just really coming off in the shape that the original house was in. And sorry, I was a little out of frame there. I really get into my sanding. So then I'm just taking some antique Waverly wax and my chip brush, and I am just distressing this shiplap house and just getting it to how I like. Again, I love distressed things. I love it. I just think it looks so pretty, and that's my style. But if you don't like it, of course, don't do it. Again, you could have a pink house if you wanted, but this is a lemon video, so it can't. Then I'm taking this little tag I got from Dollar General. I got these a while back. They are like $2 and they come like a pack of 5, I'm not sure. And I'm tracing it out on this lemon scrapbook paper. Now, here's where Mod Podge comes in. I wanted to Mod Podge this to the tag because I wanted the tag to look like the lemons were inside of, like it was made this way versus just put on there. And sometimes Mod Podge can do that for you. So I just lay that on there and then again, Mod Podge over the top of it and let it completely dry before I sand. Now we're gonna let our first house kind of just sit over there and watch, and we're gonna take our second house and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna remove the sand dollar and then we're gonna remove the roof of the house. And this is pretty easy. Both of them kind of pop off. There are little like nails at the top, but I mean, they didn't really play a role in this. It didn't really bother the DIY at all. And then I'm taking some ink, Waverly chalk paint, and I am painting the roof of this house as well because I want them, these are gonna be kind of like a pair. They're about to be a couple and I want them to kind of, go together. So then I am taking that same lemon scrapbook paper that I put on the tag and I am tracing this house out. So it's kind of just the same technique. I'm just gonna trace it out, cut it out, hot glue it, and sand it. Pretty simple. And again, at a downward angle when you sand, I just feel like that really, I don't know, it just does something. It gets those excess pieces off. And again, if you are using Mod Podge, wait till it is completely dry. Then I'm taking some antique Waverly wax, shocker, and my chip brush, and I am going to distress just the sides and a little bit in the middle because I feel like this is really colorful and I don't know. I love the colors of this. I love the lemons. So I didn't want to take away too much from that, but I still wanted it to be like a rustic piece. And then while I was distressing that, I went ahead and distressed the tag and put a little hole in it just using some scissors. And now we are going to put all of it together. So we are going to put our roofs back on our house, obviously. And then we are going to add some kind of embellishments to make them look more like a couple. Now I'm just taking some jute and I'm gonna wrap it around this house and tie it off in the back. And then I am going to pull it around to the front and add that tag in there and kind of just, I don't know, I was kind of playing with it first, but I was like, oh, I can only go around twice. I don't know. I wish I would have cut more, but it still looks cute. So I add the tag and then I kind of just stick it down into that first wraparound just to kind of make the tag stay. And then I take that excess string, take it around to the back and tie that off. And then I wanted to add a cute little raffia bow just to add just a little bit more. And then of course, your girl had to add buttons. If you're new here, I love Dollar Tree buttons. I feel like they're just the perfect little statement for any kind of bow. I love them. So that is it for this little couple of houses. And I think these turned out so cute. So let me know which one was your favorite from today. Thank you guys for stopping by and hanging out with me today. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, leave a lemon emoji. And as always, thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Bye.